Okay, well, welcome everybody to this presentation today. I cannot wait to share this with you. I am Jocelyn Mercado. I'm the founder of Sacred Planet, and today I'm here to share with you a webinar called Pulling Back the Veil, Who Are We Really? Awakening the Shamanic Creator Being Within You. And this is going to be a presentation that I hope will be very powerful and moving for everybody listening, and then I'm going to guide you in a shamanic journeying practice. And so I'm so excited to share this with all of you. Now, let me just welcome some more people. And if you haven't put your name and location in the chat, please go ahead and do that now. Welcome Jenny in Iowa, Jane in Switzerland. Welcome Autumn in Michigan. Welcome Teresa in California. Kelly in Oklahoma. Allison in the UK. Welcome Erhard. I know I saw you a note from you here. Welcome Erhard in Denmark. Welcome Jaguar in Oregon. Christina in Portugal. Welcome Julia in Germany. Samantha in the UK. Colleen, Kristen, Jan, yay. So wonderful to see all of you here today. As I said, I'm so excited to share this. This is something that's been brewing and moving in me for a while now, and I'm just super excited to make it available to you today. So let's begin. Now, I want to share with you, first of all, this amazing video of a waterfall. And you can see from the size of the people as compared to the waterfall, you can see how large this waterfall is. This was in Costa Rica. And so just take in the magnitude and the forcefulness of this waterfall for a few seconds. Okay, so as you can see, that waterfall, it was so beautiful. It was so amazing, and it was completely massive, and you couldn't even swim up to it because it was so forceful. The force of the water coming down, like you could try to swim to it and you just get pushed back. So this is, you know, for one thing, this is the forcefulness and the beauty and the power of the earth, right? Mother Nature herself. But also I want to share with you a beautiful vision that I had later that day that's really powerful, and I think it will be really moving for you. So let me just share another image of a waterfall while I tell you about this vision that I had. So it was shown to me that when we come into this life, we take a leap off of the top of the highest imaginable waterfall. When we come into this life, we are jumping into the unknown. We're jumping from a place of exquisite oneness, right? We're coming from heaven. We're coming from the celestial realms, the beyond. And we know we're leaving that behind for a while. And we're choosing as a soul to have the courage to come into this human body, this human existence. And this human existence, we know when we're coming in, it's going to be heavy. It's going to be challenging at times. Of course, there is so much beauty, right? And I've heard many elders and other teachers say that souls wait for millennia to be able to come in and experience life in this realm with all the beauty and the sensuality and the incredible experiences that we get to have, right? So it's amazing and it's beautiful, but it's also challenging. There's also great difficulties at times. And we're living in a time now when there are tremendous difficulties for us collectively that we need to face individually and together. Now, before we took our leap into this lifetime, we signed soul contracts. And we signed agreements in those soul contracts about lessons that we wanted to learn and ways we wanted ourselves to evolve during this life. Now, there's some incredible research that has been done, and you can find it if you Google Life Between Lives. And this was done by Dr. Michael Newton. And his organization, he has passed away, but his organization is called the Newton Institute, and they're continuing his work. Now, Dr. Newton has studied and interviewed hundreds of people who have seen in deep meditation or hypnosis what happens during the time between when we die out of one lifetime, but before we're born into the next. And he found that in many of the cases, we meet with master teachers and guides. We reflect on the lives that our soul has lived so far. And we create our soul contracts for what we want to experience in the new upcoming lifetime. So before we're even born, we have chosen our surroundings. We've chosen our parents. We've chosen where we will be born on the planet, what will be our first experiences. And the soul contracts continue throughout our lifetime. They continue to unfold in the people that we meet and the experiences we have. Now, during childhood, we often experience trauma or woundings, and we embrace certain patterns and belief systems that are often given to us by others. All of this happens so that we can later heal and find out who we are destined to become. Now, a big part of our soul contracts is our relationships, right? We've made certain agreements with other souls to find one another in this new lifetime and to bring deep changes into one another's lives. People who we have soul contracts with will appear in our life when the time is right, right? We never know when they're going to show up. We never know who they will be, but they will be a very critically important part of our lives and an unavoidable part of our unique path. They might be a part of our life only for 5 minutes, or they might be a part of our life for 50 years or more. But when we meet these special souls, we know that we will never be the same again, right? So can you think of any people in your life who you know that you have a soul contract with? If you do, write yes in the comments. These would be people who you probably have felt a strong connection with from the beginning, and either they've changed you significantly or you've shown up in their life to change them, or often both, right? It goes both ways. So connecting with our soul contracts, these relationships where it's like, you've known this person before this lifetime, right? Or often our parents or our children, we know we've been in the family with these people before. And this reminds us of our immortal nature. Because when we die, we do not disappear. We don't just go away. Instead, we return to the oneness, and then we take on another form. Each time we become a new form, a new life, we're meant to learn important lessons to help our soul to evolve. And when we're born, immediately after we take that leap into this body, when we're a baby and when we're a very young child, we still have a memory of that oneness. We still dream of it, and we can still see the other side of the veil. I'll share with you a little story about my daughter, and I love all the yeses in the comments. Yes, big time, absolutely. Wonderful. And sometimes the soul contracts, it may not be a positive relationship, right? It may be a very difficult or challenging relationship, but still, you know, that person's here to change you, or you're here to change them. Now, I want to share with you a story about one of my daughters when she was really small. My daughter Lily, when she was just about 5 or 6 months old, one time I fell asleep holding her while she was sleeping. And so her head was resting here. It's very sweet and beautiful. And so I just fell asleep with her here. And I entered into this dream space it was like the purest state of bliss. I mean, it truly felt like, if you imagine what it would be like to be in heaven and just surrounded by light, it was like surrounded by softness, surrounded by the most beautiful sounds. It was just pure and complete bliss. I've never had a dream like that before or since. Never in a vision have I seen anything that would even compare to that. And I realized when I woke up, I had a memory of that. I still can remember it now. And I was holding her and she was still sleeping, and I realized I had entered into her dream space, or somehow she had shown her dream space to me. And so this was really powerful for me, because it showed me that these little babies, when they're still brand new, they still are connecting with that, the other side. They're still connecting with that blissful oneness state, right, that we all come from. And this was like a huge gift. I got to see that in a very real way. I'll never forget that. And now whenever I see a baby sleeping and smiling, I'm like, oh, okay, I know, I understand. You're in that place. You're in that oneness place again. And there are many stories of things like this, right? There's a story that I've heard too of a 3-year-old little girl who had a tiny baby brother, and she would go in and talk to him when he was sleeping. And she would say, while he was sleeping, she would say to him, "Can you remind me about God? Because I'm starting to forget. Remind me about God. I'm 3 years old and I'm starting to forget," right? Because this is what happens when we get to 2 or 3 or 4 years old. We're starting to become acculturated. And so we're starting to forget that connection, that just very natural connection that as babies we have with the divine. And through this great forgetting, we enter into the world of, that is called in Hindu or Sanskrit terminology, it's called Maya, the world of illusion. And we're taught certain belief systems. We're trained to see the world in a certain way that the culture around us has defined. But that does not mean the world that we see around us is the truth. Let me share this with you here. So our acculturation into mainstream modern society has been called by some visionaries the consensus trance. Now, this is a pervasive set of beliefs that are given to us by modern culture, which we're taught and which we accept as truth from our earliest childhood days. And because of this consensus trance, we forget about that oneness. We get pulled into this whole other way of perceiving, and we forget who we really are. And this consensus trance has been passed down to us for generation upon generation, right? And so our parents passed it along to us, and I know in some ways I'm still passing it on to my children, even though I'm trying to be very aware. But it's so deep within us, and it is so built into every aspect of this mainstream modern world that we need to operate in. And to some degree, we have to learn about that as children. We have to be able to operate in this world. But what we want to do is not ever completely forget, right? Because deep inside, for all of us who are paying attention, I'm sure for everybody on this call, even as deeply as we might have gotten ingrained into that consensus trance ingrained into us, we've still always had a sense that things around us are not really what they appear to be. So here's a description of this illusory nature of reality as we know it. And this is as described by the American Institute of Vedic Studies. This was a really beautiful piece of research that I found here. Now this says, every person we encounter and every object we see hides a deeper story or a mystery. We may know a person by name as our neighbor, but there are other aspects of their lives that we do not know, both good and bad. Most importantly, we don't even fully know ourselves. Apart from our familiar self, we have many other potentials and skills. We are capable of different jobs, living in different places, or even assuming different identities. Now, this is outside of the quote. This is something we do all the time, right? We assume different identities based on who we're around, what we're being expected to perform. It goes very deep, right? We've learned to navigate this world of illusion very proficiently. But going back to the quote now, moreover, there are depths of awareness inside us that are cosmic. We have an inner being beyond the time, space, and karma of our apparent self. Another important example is dream. There is a certain dreaminess about life. In fact, once an experience is over for us, it seems little more than a dream. So think of your childhood, for example. It is little more than a dream as you remember it through who you are today. So we are truly, truly living in a mystery. And we can still remember. And we are remembering, right? We are remembering now. So no matter how much we forget as we grow up and become acculturated about the original oneness that we came from, there is some part of us always way down deep inside that knows there is so much more available to us here in this miraculous life than what meets the eye at this surface level of our mainstream world. And that's what we're here to dive into today. So we can gain some clues about this from cases of children sharing their past life memories. Perhaps the most prominent researcher of this phenomenon is Ian Stevenson, a psychiatry professor, and later on chair of the psychiatry department at the University of Virginia. He passed away in 2007, and his work has been carried on by a man named Jim Tucker, who's also a psychiatry professor at University of Virginia. And Stevenson and Tucker have documented more than 2,500 cases in which a child, usually between the ages of 2 and 7, has spoken about memories of a past life and given details or names or specific factual data or geographic data or like street names, different things that a small child would have no way of knowing. And they have done this research and found out for it to be true. So what's happening here is that children, especially around the age of 2 or 3, when they're first beginning to talk, yet they're still in that angelic baby phase, they're so close to source still, will often say things that don't make sense in the context of the current life. Now, in these studies with Stevenson and Tucker, there will be, there's one story of a little boy who every time he played, he was crashing a plane into the ocean. And he started to give names of ships and names of planes and specific scenarios, and they found out that he had been a pilot in World War II, and his plane and his crew had crashed into the ocean, and he remembered these names with great detail. And all of this happened in the 1940s, right? And this child is just living recently. So it's very powerful to see this. And I'm sure many of us with our own children or grandchildren or nieces or nephews have had experiences like this one. So my other daughter, Sophia, when she was first beginning to talk and she could first put together a sentence, one of the very first things she said to me was, "Do you remember when I was your mommy and you were my baby?" Right? It's so beautiful. Like, we've been in these families before. So what we can learn from this is that our souls are eternal. When we die, we do not really die. We simply take on another form. We might die to this lifetime. We might be moving out of this reality into a different reality, but it's not the end. And we're connected to a much more powerful network of possibility than we can possibly perceive in this 3D physical reality of illusion. We can also see proof of this in looking at near-death experiences. Now, Dr. Eben Alexander is a neurosurgeon who, due to a very severe medical condition, went into a coma and was almost completely brain dead. And the doctor said that he had 2% or less, 2% or lower chance of recovering from this. Now, during that time when he was in this coma, he was having an extremely profound experience of being able to see the bigger picture of his life and his place in the universe. And he experienced life-changing revelations, such as the fact that we are never alone, that we are surrounded by so much love and protection, and that we are made of unconditional love, that unconditional love permeates all of creation. He also experienced during the first 3 months after he miraculously came out of this coma, then he experienced a miraculous healing because his brain and his parts of his body had been actually very, very damaged, and he has healed, and he is completely, fully living now and teaching about this. It's really incredible. And his brain and his physical body regenerated in a way that science could not explain. So being a neurosurgeon and being very much in the logical, linear mindset of science, this didn't make any sense to him either, even though he had lived through it. And so he began researching what could have happened. And as a result of his research, here are a couple of his core messages today. I want to share these with you. So one of his messages is that the brain does not create our consciousness. He experienced this because his brain was offline. His brain was not operating. He was brain dead. He was in a coma. But he had this incredibly transcendental experience that was very deep, very profound, pervading many aspects of life and awareness. And so many studies of near-death experiences as well as entheogenic experiences have actually shown that the more extraordinary the experience that the patient had, the less active the brain was. So this is very interesting. We are not, these things that are happening when we're having a transcendental experience are actually not in our brain. We're actually leaving the brain. The brain is getting out of the way, Dr. Alexander says. So he believes, Dr. Alexander believes it is actually coming from our heart and our cosmic connection to the higher intelligence of the universe, that is where our consciousness really lies. So the message here is that the truth of the matter really does exist in our heart, not in our thinking logical mind, right? And what a paradigm shift this is. Now, Dr. Alexander has also come to the conclusion in his studies that consciousness is inherent in all of creation, right? So whether there's an active brain present or not, there is consciousness. So this leads to profound implications about the intelligence of other forms that exist around us and other beings, both on our planet and out in the cosmos, the nature of our transcendental experiences, and our role in the universe as being far more than simply a physical being who lives and dies, right? I am far more than what I appear to be. All of us are. So we can see that as babies, we're deeply connected still to the oneness and to the other realms. And in near-death experiences, we have an opportunity, and in entheogenic experiences as well, which I didn't go into here, but we have an opportunity to connect with those other realms in a very profound way. And so, let me stop sharing here for a moment. So, in each of our lives then, there comes a moment, right? After all of this conditioning, after all of this acculturation, there comes a moment when the imaginal and the unseen realms begin to crack through again. So this happened for Dr. Alexander when he had his near-death experience, for example, brought him out of that, very, very highly scientific, logical world into this, whoa, what is actually happening here? And this happens at different times for everybody in our lives. This is the awakening process. Some would say this is the ascension process that we're being guided into. So who is on the call right now and going through either your first awakening process or a very, very much deeper level of the awakening that you had experienced before? Go ahead and write in the chat and whatever you would like to share about your awakening journey. Are you at the beginning? Are you in the middle? Are you in advanced? even as we've been doing this for a long time, we just continue. It's the spiral, right? It's like this alchemical spiral. We keep coming back around again and again and again to deeper and deeper levels of awakening. So yeah, go ahead and share about that in the comments. Deepening level, much deeper now. Deeper level, yes, beautiful. Third awakening, newly awakening, deepening. Yeah, wonderful to hear from you all. We're all in this together, whatever level we're at, right? There is something really powerful happening on the planet right now. These processes of awakening and heightening of our intuition, heightening of our psychic abilities, heightening of our remembering of who we really are being hugely, significantly accelerated right now on our planet. And, in a way, we were sent here to forget so that we could remember. We are sent here to be consciousness experiencing itself. We are sent here to remember, to bring back together the oneness that we came from before entering into this human body, and to remember the sacredness that created us. And when we're going through an awakening or deepening into our spiritual path, it usually comes in the form of an initiation. So an initiation is anything that happens that we don't know if we can really handle it, or we don't know if we will survive it. There's a quote from Sandra Ingerman, I don't have it in front of me, but she says, if you thought you were going to survive, it wouldn't be an initiation, right? That is really, really the truth. So this may be any of a number of things. It may be a serious health issue or a health scare. It may be the falling away of parts of our life that we've always considered vitally important, right? Relationships, a career, or even our identity and who we think that we are. It could be very dark. We might have experiences of seeing things we don't want to see. Or it may, on the other hand, be very bright, be very full of magic, like these tree leaves back here, right? Like entire new realms are opening up to us. And so we may be experiencing upgraded intuitive and psychic abilities. It might seem like we're literally losing our minds. That is the experience that many people have, right? I know there have been definitely times in my life where I have felt like I was losing my mind. I was going crazy. How many? Put yes in the comments if you've had that. Feeling like you have lost your marbles, right? And it's really hard, right? It's really challenging. Like, how do you navigate that? But it is part of this incredible, magical, challenging process. And so when we're going through an initiation, although it can be very challenging, there's often a sense of something much deeper going on, right? There will be different forms of magic and synchronicity breaking through. And the truth is that we need to go through this dark and narrow passageway in order to emerge into the light. And as human beings, we naturally need some kind of crisis or some kind of situation that takes us to our edge in order to truly change. This is our nature. We don't tend, I guess it happens sometimes, but we don't tend to change when everything's going perfectly well, right? We tend to need a little extra push, a little extra motivation. Oh yes, I love that, Allison. It's like being birthed again. Yes, yes, like going through birth canal again. And so this is one way the universe is helping us out right now. It may not seem like a fun kind of help, but with all of the pandemic and the political upheaval and the social upheaval, everything, the education system crumbling, there's so much happening right now, and it feels like things are falling apart, but actually it is help, right? Actually, it is everything coming together in a new and better way than we could even possibly imagine. And so it's extremely important, whatever challenges you're going through right now, to know and remember that there is always a higher meaning for it. And you are not alone. There are many others going through this right now on the earth. And ultimately, we're called to navigate this awakening, to raise our consciousness and to open up to the unseen realms more and more at ever deeper levels. So I love this view of the galaxies from the earth. So what's happening here is that each of us, so I'll say you, because I'm speaking to each person listening, you are called to become the shaman, the one who can easily travel back and forth between the seen and unseen realms, between life and death, easily, without fear, and bring back the knowledge, bring back the instructions for yourself and for the community to move forward. And you are called to become the alchemist, the one who creates his or her own reality. Now, part of what's happening here is we are undergoing a shift in ages. So many different cultures record time or speak of time running in 26,000 year cycles. And these cycles align with the precession of the equinoxes. Okay, so based on the Mayan long count calendar and numerous other ancient and indigenous prophecies, in 2012, we reached the end of a 26,000 year cycle. So that was a major shift. But of course, this is a 26,000 year cycle. So it's not like everything was just going to change at that 1 second on December 21st, 2012. Now we are 8 years later, and we're really getting moved fully into this reset, right? And this is a complete reset. This is entering We are actually leaving behind a 26,000 year cycle of human development and entering into a completely new age. So this affects many things. It affects our space-time continuum, our perception of time and space, and how to actually navigate in this reality. It affects our emotions. It affects our physical bodies. We're getting these upgrades. I've talked to so many people, myself included, who are having very strange physical symptoms lately. And I really, truly believe that at least part of it is that we're getting these downloads and upgrades and new information and new calibration, and our bodies, our physical bodies are, can hardly keep up with that. It affects our intuitive and psychic abilities to connect with the imaginal realm, expanding that, increasing that, and it is expanding us into a whole new world. This is a really big adjustment that we're going through right now. I mean, it's massive. I mean, it's like beyond anything we can even really describe in words. And we're going to get used to this new way. The energy has changed, so we need to be resilient and accept that the energy has changed, that we're not going back to the old way. And those of us alive right now we're getting to have quite an unforgettable experience, right? That is for sure. It's like we're in the front seats of the movie theater, and this whole new movie world is being released. And so we may feel in some part of ourselves a longing to go back to how it used to be. But we need to know the future is forward. We really need to embrace this. We need to embrace this initiatory process. We need to embrace the new way we're feeling. And know that if we're having physical issues or going through really big challenges, that part's not going to last forever, but it is part of the adjustment into a whole new way. So our energy is going to be tested a lot. What is real and true will significantly come into question. Who we can trust is significantly coming into question. So we really need to be sure above all else to not buy into the fear, right? To really stay grounded and centered and know that we are on the leading edge of this. We are leading the way. We are the pioneers into this new world. And we are protected. We are guided. We are being supported at every moment through this. And so it's going to take some nerve and it's going to take some confidence to really stand up for what we believe during this time. But doing so is critical to creating the new world, to creating the entire energetics, the entire structure, everything about the new world that we're here to bring forward. So this is the time when we must not waver. Bear with me 1 second here. There we go. So we must not waver at this time, because in these rapidly changing times, those of us who are ready are being gifted with heightened intuitive and psychic abilities, with shamanic abilities, with alchemical abilities to go into the other dimensions, to connect with the stars and star beings, to connect with the angels and our guides, to connect even with, sometimes with the darker forces when needed, right? When we need to shift things in another way, to be in communication with these other forms of intelligence and to bring that information back, either to heal and inform our own lives or the collective or both. Now, this usually involves, and initiations often involve, confronting at least one major fear in your life, which is coming from past lives or karma, and is usually tied to the reason that you came into this body for your soul's evolution, right? Our fears are pointing us toward our soul contracts, what we were meant to learn in this lifetime. Your greatest fear, whatever that might be, that is really extremely strong and difficult for you to face, is something that you need to go directly toward if you want to find your deepest purpose, if you want to fully engage with your mission in this lifetime. We carry many woundings from past lives and even past experiences in this lifetime. Especially now at this time on the planet, we're coming to a point where there have been so many woundings, so many generations and millennia of woundings, and we're being called to deeply, deeply heal them now so we can move forward into this new era. So as we pull back the veil and as we reveal the magic and mystery that's always surrounding us, this magic and mystery that's even closer than our own nose or our own fingertips, right? It's here, it's with us always. as we open to the idea that we are constantly surrounded by support and help and protection from a council of guides and helpers, the invitation now is to move beyond fear, to overcome your deepest fear, to move beyond fear, beyond ego, beyond perceived separation and dualistic perception of the world. And we can do this. We have tools for this. We are human beings. We know how to do this. We've known how to do this since 50,000, 100,000 years ago. We can do this through the shamanic initiatory process, moving through these heavier and denser aspects of self. Now, in order to fully pull back the veil and to live in the real world, which is the world we perceive merged with the dream and imaginal realm, right? To be able to move between the dream world, the unseen world, and this 3D world of illusion, which we've been taught was real, and exist in both realities and find what is real and true for us, right? We need to really claim our ability to do this. Freedom is taking full responsibility for your own reality and for what you are creating. And freedom is knowing how to work with the natural laws and change your own experience. We are life. We are life itself, right? We are bursting with life, and we are part of this much bigger plan that is all about life. This is something that my mentor, Pat McCabe, says. She says, the plan is life, right? And we are an intricate part of that. And we are here as human beings at this time to uphold and defend and support life itself on this planet. And so once we have opened up to these levels of healing, right, when we're no longer driven by fear and ego, when we've taken full responsibility for this reality that we've created so far in this lifetime, we gain the ability to significantly shift all of it. And we need to be really, really aware of upholding the highest vibrational frequency at this time, right? As I said earlier, not falling into fear, right? Not falling into doubt, not falling into ego, but really remembering the oneness, remembering where we come from, remembering our soul contracts, the reasons that we're really here, the deeper healing and lessons that we're meant to learn, upholding this highest vibration of all possibilities. This is very, very important for us as we move into this new era, because we want to create the energy of what we want to build, right? We need to build these new structures to move us forward. We need to have tremendous courage to bring our light and our gifts forward, to move out of these stuck places, out of the density and heaviness that's kept us mired down and unable to do our highest work in the past, and really move into a place of truly sharing our gifts, our highest contribution at an extremely world-changing and transformational level. Now, you might do this, whatever your mission is. It might be a bold, loud mission. It might be a quiet, local community mission. It doesn't matter. It might just be raising your children. And I say just, but that is not a just. It might be raising your children, which is just an incredibly difficult and magical and unknown world we're even entering into with raising our children anymore, right? It might be that you're a teacher at school. It might be that you're a teacher online. It might be that you're a healer. It might be that you're a global speaker. What, big or small, it doesn't matter, right? You're here to bring your gifts to the world. Colleen says, my mission is to help animals and also to help women. Beautiful. Thank you, Colleen. Yes, if any of you would like to share your mission or what you know of it so far in the chat, that would be wonderful. Would love to see. Now, what we need to know about our mission is that we are each perfectly designed to carry it out. This is a really big lesson I've been learning lately. We perceive ourselves as having strengths and having weaknesses, right? And my guides recently told me, this is a message for everybody, to make a list of your strengths, okay? And then make a list of your weaknesses. And once you're done those two lists, at the top of the weaknesses list where you wrote weaknesses, cross it out and write strengths. Because there is no such thing as weaknesses. You are perfectly designed to do exactly what you are here for. And the things that we perceive as weaknesses are actually personality traits that are here to help us even more in our mission, right? it's really important to look at it in that way, to flip this idea of I have weaknesses, I am doubting myself, to really flip it and see where you are here to shine with all of your qualities, with all that makes you unique and different from everybody else. And this is our perfect design, right? Once we strip away ego and doubt and fear and separation, what we're left with is our perfect, perfect design. And once you learn how to work with your perfect design and really love it and embody it and appreciate it and dance with it, you'll be able to move into a space of doing your highest contribution work in the world. And not only that, but you'll be fully, financially, abundantly, resourcefully supported in doing this work and be able to receive everything you need in order to really make this happen. I want to read some of these. My mission is to awaken those who have been asleep, to help awaken others. Yes, beautiful. To help people develop right relationship between their sacred selves and their human egos. Wow, amazing. To create art, artwork to honor Mother Earth. Sue, your artwork is amazing. I would love to be a healer, but I'm too ill. Maybe it's to heal myself and raise my vibration. Yes, Valerie, this is really powerful. Yes, some of what we're going through right now is actually to show ourselves our own power that we didn't know we had, right? So it might be, if you're ill right now, it could be, see if this resonates for you, but it could be to actually allow you to see that you can heal yourself and to know that you can heal yourself and others, right? In ways that you never even imagined. Really lean into that, Valerie, if it feels right to you. My mission is to shine a light on the things we try to ignore. Yes, Adrian, yes, your weaknesses are specific strengths that are very unique to you in the way they're showing up. Yes, I love that. I love that added detail. Yes, absolutely. My mission is to help people awaken through chronic pain using nature. Wow. Making and giving away mask leashes. Oh, wow. Is that for dogs, Barbara? That would be amazing. Okay, and yes, a recording will be sent out after this, absolutely. Don't worry, you'll all get it. As long as you're on my email list, you will receive it. If you're not on my email list, go to wearesacredplanet.com and get on my mailing list, and you'll be able to receive it. Okay, so with shamanic practices, we can do this healing, right? To move from being a person. So there are all these stages that we move through, right? First of all, we're like just completely in the mainstream and we don't know that there's more. And then we start to realize there's more, and we realize there's this veil and illusion around us, right? And then we move into tearing off that veil and actually being really comfortable walking more in the unseen realms than in the dense 3D reality. And we move into awakening our astral body and our astral knowing, connecting with the vast intelligence of the earth and cosmos, and from a place of very pure love and compassion and courage, knowing precisely how we need to move forward, and then taking action in ways that will heal ourselves, heal the world, bring our mission out, right? The shamanic process, the shamanic journey, the alchemical journey as well, can help us to do this. So I would love to share with you right now a shamanic journey. Let me put up a beautiful image here. Now, this journey is to discover and awaken the shamanic creator being within you. And I love this image. Just take a look at this image at first for a minute here. And just think about this being as a shamanic creator being. See all the beautiful, high vibrational, sacred geometry that this being is sending out into the world in miraculous and magical ways through the highest frequency, right? Really know that this is our power as human beings. We can do this. We can connect in this way with the earth and cosmos and other beings all around us. We can create healing in ourselves. We can send that out. We can receive the vast intelligence as well, bring it in and then share it with the community. There's so much available to us here. Okay, so let's deepen into this shamanic journey. So go ahead and close your eyes and just begin taking some deep breaths. Breathe in, filling your lungs up all the way to the point that feels right to you. and really giving thanks for our breath. This is something that is so present for all of us now with the pandemic that's happening, the preciousness of our breath, being able to breathe in and take a deep, deep breath of air, of oxygen that gives us life. It's very precious, so really give gratitude and thanks for that. And just allow your awareness to drop out of your thinking mind and down, down, down into the core of your being and into your heart. Because as we know, our consciousness does not come from our thinking mind. Our consciousness comes from our heart, and our heart is interconnected with the earth, with the cosmos, with all these other incredible beings and intelligence surrounding us, and with our inner wisdom. So connect into your heart. And then I invite you to imagine yourself in a beautiful place in nature, a place that feels comforting and familiar to you. And I invite you to picture yourself there barefoot, with the soles of your feet on the ground, drinking in the wisdom and unconditional love of the mother through the soles of your feet. And if you want, you can send some roots down from the soles of your feet and even coming out from your ankles, all the way down into the earth, all the way to her core, and wrapping around the center of the earth. And as you wrap around the center, feel the heartbeat of Mother Earth. Allow that to pulse through your roots, up into your entire body, and allow the unconditional love of the mother for her precious child to move up through those roots and to pour into every cell of your being, filling you up with a vibrant green light, the color of the earliest leaves in springtime. This is the unconditional love of Mother Earth. Now, as you're standing there, connected fully with the earth, call to your side a guide. This may be an animal, an ancestor, an angel, any being. Just trust whoever shows up. Know that they are here to guide and protect you. And thank your guide for coming. Welcome them here. And really take in the beauty and the sacredness of this precious guide who has shown up for you today, who wants to journey with you. Now, notice that a shimmering portal is opening up before you. Stars and galaxies sparkle on the other side of it. Step through the portal now. Have courage. Your guide is here to protect you and will be with you throughout this journey. So go ahead and step through this portal. Step through and feel yourself falling through all time and space. See yourself returning to the numinous realms, the unseen dimensions. See yourself coming back into oneness. Really allow yourself to enjoy floating in this liminal space. Notice that all of the cares and fears and worries and burdens of the material world have been lifted from you. You have no ego to limit your expansion. You have no perception of separateness to keep you confused. The veil of illusion has been lifted. You are weightless. You are completely free. What do you see around you in this place of oneness? Really take it all in. Maybe you're gliding past planets and stars. Maybe you're in a heavenly realm with bright angelic light all around you. Just really trust deeply whatever you're experiencing. Just be with it now. Your guide now wants to show you something. So allow your guide to take you to a place where you are overlooking the womb of all creation. Go ahead and observe this now. This is the womb at the center of the universe, from which all things which ever existed have been birthed. And your guide tells you that you have this very same force of creation within you. So feel into your body. Where is this center of creation within you? Wherever a sensation comes up, really trust it. This is the force of creation within your own being. You are truly the shaman. You are the alchemist. You have the power to create realities. This is the truth of your existence. You are so much more than you ever knew possible. Just feel the possibilities and potentialities swirling within you at this creative center. Your guide has a secret to whisper to you now. Lean in and receive this message from your guide. And now your guide has another message. Your guide wants to tell you about the larger plan for you in this lifetime, in the great universal plan. Your guide is going to show you the key strengths that you possess and the key weaknesses that make you perfectly suited to carry out your mission. So really take this in and notice as your guide shares with you how perfectly designed you are. Notice that this information, as it's being shown to you, is coming in through your heart, not through your brain. And as you're receiving this, really allow your heart to fill up with gratitude for what has been shown to you here today. Allow that gratitude to just expand within you and grow and carry you with unconditional love, with wholeness, with deep understanding. And now it is time to come back. So travel back with your guide through the unseen realms, through the other dimensions. Come back through that shimmering portal and stand once again in your beautiful place in nature. Again, deeply root yourself into the earth and also feel from your crown chakra tendrils or antennas reaching up and connecting you with the infinite intelligence of the cosmos, connecting you with the larger plan for yourself and the larger plan for all of us. Know that you are an integral part of this plan. And going forward from today, you will have a much deeper understanding about your role in it. So when you're ready, bring your roots back up into the soles of your feet and bring your antennas back into your crown chakra. And turn to your guide and thank them for being here. And if you have one last question you would like to ask your guide, go ahead and ask it now. Just wait for the answer. And then watch your guide leave. Know that you can connect with this guide again anytime that you wish. Give thanks to the earth, give thanks to the cosmos, and then begin to feel yourself back in this present moment, seated in your chair or laying down in your home, wherever you are. Begin to feel yourself in your body again. Focus in on your deep breathing once again. Maybe wiggle your fingers or your toes a little bit. And when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. Come back with me here. Now, definitely take some notes. If you have a notebook or journal handy, go ahead and take some notes and write down anything that feels especially important from that journey. These journeys take us way into the dream time, so we can quickly forget what we experienced. So it's good to write it down, anything important. And we will have a Q&A here in a few minutes. But I have something really exciting that I want to share with you all first. So if you have loved what I shared today, and if you have loved this journeying experience, and I love all the comments, I want to share something really special and exciting with you. So this is what it is. So I am going to be starting a really powerful group experience. Now, this will be a smaller group than some of you have been in recently. This will be a more intimate experience where you'll get a lot more personalized attention from me. And it's going to be extremely powerful, opening up to your shamanic and alchemical abilities. So it's called Your Shamanic Awakening to the Stars and Back. And you can come here. Let me just share in the chat the link to this page. So here is the webpage for this experience if you'd like to explore it at your own pace. And you can come here and check out what I've written. There's some writing here that I think you'll enjoy. But what's important to know is that, as we've said, in 2020, we're going through this complete reset and calibration of the planetary consciousness. And everything, literally everything, is changing. The way that we perceive our place and role in the world, and the way that the world itself looks just 3 to 5 years from now, will be so different from today. It will be almost unrecognizable. And in order to be able to really welcome in these changes, to handle them, we need to be ready. And that's what this program is all about. And when we open up to our own initiatory journey, we are contributing to the massive global ascension process that's encompassing all beings on the earth at this momentous time. I love this quote. The universe is saying, "Allow me to flow through you unrestricted, and you will see the greatest magic you have ever seen." Right? That's what we're working on here in this program. And so one important thing that's really key to know is that the end of 2020 and the beginning of 21 is really and truly a portal for us into how we're creating a future for our entire planet. We've been in this very confusing and hazy space in 2020. We've had all of these eclipses, all of these retrogrades, all of these world events that like our system in some cases doesn't even know how to handle. And we're going to be getting new insights by the end of 2020. Okay, there's some really powerful help that's coming from the cosmos Jupiter is moving out of Capricorn into Aquarius. I am personally very excited about this because Jupiter is my ruling planet. But for all of us, this is really important. This is going to be a huge shift into the Aquarian energies of coming together into community to build the new world. Jupiter and Saturn are also going to have their great conjunction in Aquarius on December 21st. And Saturn as well will be moving into Aquarius for the coming years, right? So this is a huge shift from the Capricorn stuck, stagnant, challenging energies into the Aquarian energies, right? And this is what we're here for at this time, is moving into the Aquarian age. So we're going to get this kind of support. There's also going to be a total solar eclipse in Sagittarius, conjunct the galactic center on December 14th. So all of this is going to help us to regain our memory of who we truly are and where we came from. And the important thing to know is that now is the time to get ready. As Penny Pierce says, any given moment contains unlimited futures that can become real. The reality that occurs is the one you pay attention to. Right? This speaks to our ability as creator beings. What we pay attention to is what's going to grow. And so you will want to be really optimally positioned to leap in with 2 feet, feeling balanced, inspired, and charged up as these upgraded Aquarian energies stream into our world in late 2020 and early 2021. So that's what this program is all about. It's going to be from September through December of this year. We're starting next Tuesday, September 8th, starting very soon, because there's no time to lose. It's happening now. So you can come here and read. These are a list of all the benefits you're going to get in this program. But really, this is key, right? Leveraging the most positive energies of 2020 and 2021 to unlock, uncover, and develop your purpose and mission in this lifetime. And to gain a direct experience of yourself as a creator being, truly the shaman and alchemist who creates your chosen reality. Okay, but there's so much more here that we're going to do together. Now, I want to share with you the curriculum. So we'll meet on Tuesdays. And if you can't attend in person, don't worry. You will receive the full class recording afterwards. So if you need to miss a session or 2 or 3, it's totally okay. So for our first class, we're going to explore your soul aura. And I'm going to guide you to discover how to uncover your soul purpose by exploring the magical clues of your strengths and weaknesses. We're going to dive deeper into that. Uncover the specific characteristics of your perfect design that make you optimally poised to bring light into the world. And we're going to do a shamanic journey to unravel and release the identities that are no longer serving your highest good. This is one place where we can get really stuck. We've been told we are somebody, or we've come to believe we are somebody, but really we are so much more than that. Right? Now, in this program, we're going to be connecting regularly with star beings. I'm going to be channeling from the star beings and giving you an activation from them. Okay, so there's really no telling what will come through here, but it's going to be extremely powerful. So I can't wait to share that with you. And also in some of the sessions here, we're going to connect with a star portal in the sky and channel healing from that star portal into the earth for planetary healing. Right, we're going to do that together when we gather in community and create this container for healing and then pour that healing into the world. It has a tremendous impact for change. Now for class 2, we're going to look at healing the ancient woundings. So we're going to dive into fears, right? What is fear really? We're going to learn how fear is actually a reflection of your soul's deepest desires and a signpost pointing toward your highest potential. We're going to look at how to make fear your multidimensional ally. Now, again, remember, I'm going to be giving personalized coaching on these in these sessions. We're going to have a lot more time together than maybe in some of the bigger classes you might have been in with me lately. So this is going to be very powerful, a lot of one-on-one support in the group process. Now we're going to look at the purpose of ego and how to transcend that. And we're going to receive an activation and a channeling from ancient deities. Again, with that, there's no telling what will come through. Now in class 3, we're going to really start diving into the core information here. So in class 3, we're going to activate you as a star being with access to infinite intelligence. So I'm going to share with you new ways to open up your more than human senses, your intuition, your dreams, your psychic abilities, your healing presence. And we're going to take a shamanic journey to a specific area of the nighttime sky that's calling to you because it is your home, right? To go there and meet your star family. And again, I'm going to channel from star beings and share that activation with you. And we're going to connect with another shamanic star portal in the sky and channel healing into the earth. This is a beautiful quote from Grandmother Flor de Meyer. We need to start thinking beyond the physical body of who we are. I am a mother, a grandmother, but there is not a moment in my life that I separate myself from being a star being. Now in class 4, we're going to dive into you are the shaman, traveling between the seen and unseen realms. And I want to give you some really beautiful and experiential practices to become comfortable living shamanically, easily able to walk between the seen and the unseen realms. And really give you a chance to say yes to the sacred responsibility of the shaman, right? You might know that you have these abilities or that you have this kind of calling, but have you truly said yes? And once you say yes, as you know, everything begins to change. We're going to look at how you can also create your own potent journeys and rituals that will help you bring back the information that the earth needs now. And so much more. And then in class 5, we're going to dive into you are the alchemist, the creator of your own reality. So we're going to look at practices to help you become a master of your vibrational frequency. Because through our vibration, we create everything that we experience. We're going to create coherence among all of our chakras and in our connection with heaven and the earth. And a profound teaching on the true meaning of freedom. How does being an alchemist give us freedom? It's very powerful. Again, channeling from the star beings, bringing healing down from the star portal. This is something we're going to keep circling, spiraling back to, and we'll get more potent each time. Now in class 6, we're going to look at the architecture of reality and the universe, right? What is everything made of? And how to see and engage with the fabric of creation all around you in a whole new way. This is something that in really profound journeys and visions, we can gain much deeper access to how we are actually constructed, how we are intricately interconnected in the web of life. And what does that really mean, right? We'll also dive more deeply into studying near-death experiences so that we can live our fullest life today. And we're going to go into an alchemical meditation guiding you to connect with the ones who built you and all things. So this is very powerful, and a channeling from ancient deities. Now in class 7, we're going to look into receiving the sacred instructions. So this is very important as the alchemist, as the shaman. You must cultivate this ability to receive the sacred instructions. Now when we do this, it opens up a whole other level of what you can create, because you're not coming up with things from your mind or even from your own personal creative abilities, but you're really tapping into what is coming through from the cosmos and the higher intelligence of the universe and allowing that to guide what you create. Okay, and we're going to look at which healing or teaching or creative modalities are calling out to you to learn them. And we'll do a journey where you'll make a commitment to be a co-partner and co-creator with the divine. And again, so much more. And then our final class will be a special winter solstice ceremony. This will be on December 22nd. And it will be based around what would you do if you knew you could not fail. So we're going to really create a ceremony and a ritual to anchor you in a profound connection with the earth and cosmos and allow you to set your intentions for the potent year ahead, for 2021. Really expanding your shamanic and alchemical abilities to guide and inform your intentions. So this will be very deep. We're going to be in ceremonial space together, and then sending these intentions and this healing out into the world in a very powerful way. And you'll also be activated to connect with and channel an ancient deity who wishes to be your specific guide and protector for the upcoming year. So let me share with you next then the investment. So there are a few levels here, so you can join at the level that's right for you. Okay. So level 1, the magical foundation level, this is $444 in US dollars. And so this is the full program, the 4-month group program, the private online course portal, community support. You'll receive these 8 live class sessions plus the recording afterwards. really, really deep guided shamanic journeys, collective healing prayers, astral travel practices in every session. Powerful coaching from me during the live part of the class, and additional resources and deepening exercises for anything you want to dive deeper into. And you'll be in our private non-Facebook Sacred Planet Academy online portal and discussion group to connect with our vibrant global community. And I will be very active in there and communicating with you and answering questions in between the classes too. So that's the 444. Now at 777, it's everything here at the foundation level, but this includes a private 90-minute soul aura reading with me. Now, this is something that I've been doing in my one-on-one work with existing clients, but haven't offered as a separate offering yet, okay? And so this is extremely powerful. It's a way that I have of being able to see what is available to you on your soul's journey in a way that you usually have not seen or understood before, at least not at this level, right? So really, I can communicate to you what your unique gifts are, and especially the vastness of your true potential and what you're really here to bring and what you're really capable of, which is pretty much always much greater than we realize or know. So I will share this with you in a really deep 90-minute session, and this, I will then activate your soul aura, moving you into a state of perfected knowing and really being much more able to take courageous action. So this is a big shift that happens in these sessions. We're also then going to, once the activation has happened, we're going to identify, clarify, and create an action plan for your highest purpose in a unique and creative, outside of the box way that works optimally for you. That's going to feel really, really fun. Okay, so there's so much that you'll receive in this session. And then level 3 includes the soul aura reading and everything here, plus a shamanic and astral activation session with me. Okay, so this is a 90-minute session as well. This is to connect with the astral planes and calibrate each of your 7 chakras, your sacred energy centers, to be really fully aligned with your abilities as a shaman and alchemist. And then we're going to design a customized ritual just for you that will open and expand your ability to boldly live into the gifts and talents of your soul, and really very, very much guided by the sacred instructions of above at a much deeper level than ever before. Now, the payment options are here, so I'll put this link in the chat again. You can come to this page and join now if you are ready. Registration closes at 11:59 p.m. US, or New York time on on Monday, the 7th. So let me put this here. There is that link again. If you want to come here and join, you can join right away. There are installment plans as well. And there are bonuses, so you don't want to miss these. So the first 3 people that join today at any level will receive a bonus 45-minute one-on-one session with me, okay? So during this session, this is an Awakening Your Astral Knowledge session, and it's 45 minutes. And we will look at your birth chart, we'll look at the stars and planets that are showing up in the current transits most powerfully for you. We'll look at the eclipses that are coming up for the rest of this year and the beginning of 2021, see how they're going to impact you, because those are the points of breakthrough and transformation, okay? And through that, we'll identify the direction your soul is longing for you to follow and really pinpoint your strongest opportunities for breakthrough and success in this year and next. Now, you must come into this with a mindset of complete surrender and trust, because you never know what's going to be revealed. It's always very powerful. So if you join today, by basically midnight New York time, and you're one of the first 3 people to join, you will receive this session. So go ahead and join right away now if you know that this is for you, and I'll be so excited to work with you. Now, everyone who registers by September 7th will receive access to my course, The Space Between Dreaming and Awake. Okay, and this is a course to help you access your brilliance and intuition like never before. It's a really beautiful complement to this shamanic and astral initiatory journey. So I'm not going to spend too much more time here on the sales page. You can come here and read more if you want to. There's a lot of information here that will help you in making your decision whether this is right for you. There are also some testimonials from people who have been taking my other classes, so definitely read through those. It's very powerful. And we're going to have so much fun. I can't wait to dive into these other realms with you and open up your inner shaman, your inner alchemist. It's going to be really, really powerful. So join, as I said, right now, if you know this is right for you. I would love to share one of those bonus 45-minute astral knowledge sessions with you. So let me go back to the screen here. And I would love to open this up for Q&A now. So anybody who has any questions, go ahead and you can either write your question in the chat, of course, as always, or you can raise your hand. Just look for the raise hand icon, and I can bring you over to talk with me either on video or audio, whatever you prefer. So if you have any questions about what I shared earlier in the session, if you want to share about your shamanic journeying experience, that would be really amazing. I always love to hear what came through for you in the journey. And also if you have any questions about the class, your shamanic awakening class, I would love to answer those too. So whatever you need, just let me know. Claire says, Jocelyn, are there crickets or wind around you every so often? Yes, there's cicadas. It's my favorite end of summer sound is the cicadas, and they make this kind of rattling sound. The cicadas are, as a spirit animal, they're kind of like the scarab beetle, because the cicadas, they go underground and it seems that they're dead for like 7 years, and then they only come back. They come back every 7 years. So every year there are cicadas, but they're, the ones that came back on this 7-year cycle. So the cicadas are a really powerful animal as far as I'm concerned, and they make this amazing noise. They're not doing it right now. Jen, thank you for this. Jen says, every time I connect with you in class, your voice, a calm is restored to my heart. I step forward in courageous, inspired action, and I surrender more deeply. I love you. I'm so very grateful. Thank you, Jen. I love you too. It's wonderful, wonderful to know you and be on this journey with you, Jen. Really beautiful. Okay, and I know some people had to leave, and that is fine. Jen, email me and let's talk about that, okay? You have my email, I'm sure, so let's chat about that. Okay, wonderful. Any questions? If not, we can close. But if you have any questions, I am here for you. Claire, yay. Claire's raising her hand. Let me bring you over here, Claire. We can chat.
Oh.
Hi, Claire. Welcome. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hiya.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, so thank you, honestly. Just perfect timing. Thank you, universe. Thank you, Jocelyn.
Okay.
So that whole thing about like people who come into your life, and I had a person in my life and they were like a whole sort of awakening to past lives and things. And I think I said earlier there was lots of head injuries involved with that and all sorts of things. So I really thought, okay, this is it, we're on, going along. And but then, I mean, you talked about it a little bit, where then it kind of comes back round. So that relationship ended, and and I really have worked hard on accepting that that came to teach me, lots of things, and about coming back to myself and everything. Yeah. But it, like, when you come back around on the spiral, and so I think I said earlier, my son got arrested today, and I'm so proud of him. He's protesting about climate change and everything. But then this person, who I get is from lifetimes, happens to be in London, and he happens to be there at the moment of arrest. And
oh, that's amazing.
And it is, and on one level I really get, like the perfection of it and everything. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, and the perfection of you being here talking about this, and like a real reaffirmation again and again.
It's this bigger plan at work, bigger than our human minds or even hearts can like even conceive of in a conscious way. That's
Yeah.
an incredible
Yeah.
combination of events. Yeah.
But it's how to, I've been going through a time, you know, I really thought I knew what I was on with, my path. And even after, you know, kind of massive awakening, massive, you know, having to think, oh, this is it. And then it changing. And it's like, no, you're back on your own. And okay, now I'm meant to teach movement medicine. No, no, not. And it's like how to, so I've really just come back to myself and the whole global pandemic and the you know, climate crisis and everything. And it's like, you know, and find a real stillness, which is what came up in the journey. You know, just come back to your heart. You have a strong heart. That's your gift to offer. And yeah, and I don't know, just any advice that you have, how to, yeah, how to just keep accepting that and not feel that you're kind of, or for me not to feel, and for other people maybe not to kind of feel lost with it.
Yeah. Well, this is the test right now, for sure. You know, that it, for many people, what we've been building, suddenly the rug is getting pulled out from that. And so there's this sense of, I've been doing the work and doing the work, and I was feeling like I was getting somewhere, like what you were saying. And then the rug got pulled out from that one too, right? Because it's, everything is changing so rapidly right now that we really have to be in complete surrender and complete trust and stay in that calm space as much as we can, although we can't always, you know, it's just like there's so much, but as much as we can, and stay out of fear and really stay in this place of trust and knowing that what we're moving through now, it is extremely difficult. You know, there's just so much, and it's like we're each getting possibly the most intense initiations of our lives right now. And then on the collective level, that's the same thing that's happening. Of course, it's like as within, as without, right? It's happening for the earth, and so it's happening for us. So the staying grounded and centered, you know, really deepening into your spiritual practices is just so incredibly important now to spend. I feel that it's really important to spend as much time as we can in the imaginal realms, because that's where the truth is. This 3D world we're in is just increasingly full of illusions of, you know, of not, of confusion and not knowing. So we've got to just continually be tapping into truth wherever it makes sense for you. I'm sure you know in your practices, like where it makes the most sense for you to find that. And that might be in our heart and in our inner wisdom, or it might be in the imaginal realms and our meditative or journeying or yoga practices, you know, whatever we have. The other piece is to know that you know, astrologically, it's extremely challenging now and is going to continue to be through about mid-November. So we need to be prepared for that. That's something that I don't know if any of you saw my colleague Verdelus, he spoke about this last week in a presentation that he did. It's going to be really challenging through November. Now, we're going to have a breath of clarity and a breath of fresh air toward the end of this year, going into 2021, and it's going to be very welcome, you know. So, and this is what my program is about. Like, we need to really strengthen ourselves during this time right now, deepen our connection of communication with the other realms, so that we'll be prepared to do our very best work as we go into the end of 2020, beginning of 2021. So it doesn't mean it's going to get easier, but there will be more clarity. It's like the bigger picture will emerge and we'll be able to see more of what's really happening. And yeah, go ahead, Claire.
Yeah, and I really get that, and I really hear, and again, thank you for that kind of reaffirmation, because in my, you know, clearest, calmest moments, I really feel all that. I think the bit that I question is this kind of, it's like, okay, I'm here on planet Earth, and yeah, I can access all of, you know, all of that, and you know, and past and present and future, and but at the same time, then it's almost like, I suppose it's that yeah, kind of been almost guided to step out of, you know, the very kind of practical, you know, sort of modern world in a way. And so, yeah, it's like how, you know, how to kind of balance that, yeah, in a way that you don't feel like you're going completely crazy and you're just, you know, I don't know, like feel like you're the, I don't know, weirdo floating the park, talking to the trees and, you know, not seeing it. I mean, in the way the pandemic, you know, gave a real space to go, great, I can just spend all my time just following, you know, all these winds almost that, you know, that you can hear and everything. And
yeah, well, I mean, that's part of the guidance. I mean, yes, we need to, you know, we need to keep our solid grounding in this world. And I'm going to need to go in because I think they're mowing the lawn here next door. So hold on one second.
the practical real world coming
Practical
in.
world is creeping in.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the thing, isn't it? I suppose sometimes just to be able to laugh at it, just okay, there you go, prime example. The grass needs cutting.
Exactly. Yes, it's really funny. That was actually really, really good timing for that to illustrate that point. But yeah, we need to each find the balance that's right for us between the two worlds. And I mean, I think if you're feeling that, you know, you've stepped significantly out of the mainstream, right? And don't go back. You know,
Mm-hmm.
don't doubt that. Like you've been guided. You've been very guided to this place. So really trust, really, really trust. And I know it could be financial matters, it could be relationship matters, career, you know, I know there's real things that need to be dealt with. So tap into your intuition as far as how to handle those in the best possible way. But know that you've been guided to step out of mainstream for a reason. And I would say, like, intuitively for you, I'm getting, don't doubt that. Don't go back. Don't sacrifice that, because there is a lot of help coming, you know, within the next few months, like by the end of the year, a lot of help, a lot of guidance, a lot of new openings of new possibilities coming along the way. So I hope that's helpful. Of course, I wish I had a more concrete answer for you.
No, it's that, I don't know, just to be able to spend some time with other people who get it.
Yeah.
Just sometimes it, you know, yeah, it just feels less lonely and less scary. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, there are so many people here in this Sacred Planet community who are, I'm sure, really resonating. And look in the chat, because I'm sure there are comments to you here. That, you know, we're in this together, really and truly. So just know you're not alone. You're not alone in the physical realm. There's so many people here with you, and you're also not alone in the imaginal realms, because you are surrounded by your guides and protectors. And
Yeah, totally. Yeah, thank you. One beautiful thing I'll just put in at the end was I've never had this before on such concrete level in the journey. My actual real physical dog came as the guide. He's lying by my feet, and I always knew he was quite special and, you know, and all that, but it just, yeah, I'd never had that before. So I suppose in a way that's, yeah, that kind of that blend of actually, yeah, it's all going on all the different levels. So thank you.
It really is. Yes, it really is. Just keep on trusting. You're doing all the right things.
Thank you.
Okay. Lots of love to you, Claire.
Yeah, and to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, beautiful. Thank you, Claire, for sharing your journey, your real journey. And let me see here. Beautiful, beautiful comments here. Thank you all for your beautiful comments. Let me bring over Hadas. And then Emerd, you will be next. Hello, Hadas. I hope I'm saying your name right. You'll have to let me know. If you can unmute.
Okay, here, I'm unmuted.
Okay, great. Are you able to turn on your video?
Looking for it. I'm on my iPad. Oh,
Okay,
here we
should be a
go.
start
Yay.
Now, how do I say your name the right way?
I think you said it very well, Hadass. I think you did.
Okay, good, good.
Yes.
Yes. How are you?
I'm good. Just relaxing into your beautiful ideas, and just feeling like a little child, which is a good thing. Really, really little child now, just wanting everything that you're offering.
Well, the child energy is a very good place to be.
Yeah. I recognize that. Even though, you know, I'm doing astrology, I've been studying astrology for so long, I've been doing so many other things for so long, but I do feel like a little child right now who is literally standing and saying, okay, what's next? Can someone come and tell me? Can someone please let me know what direction should I go? And I've have everything. I'm blessed, lucky. Really, nothing is missing. But yet I'm waiting, and I don't know what I'm waiting for. I'm just done waiting and waiting and waiting.
Yeah.
You know, I'm teasing myself all the time. I tell myself, what are you waiting for? Do you really, the gods, and, you know, just to come to your own space and show themselves and talk to you? And sometimes I say, yes, that's what I'm waiting for.
Mm-hmm. That's not unreasonable. They can do that.
No. So, you know, so this is where I am. I have this real life, which I function very, very highly, and I'm doing a lot. But then I have this other life where I don't know what's going on. I just don't know what's up. You know, I'm waiting, waiting. And I dream a lot. I do all the things I think that you do. I don't really know what you do, but I'm guessing, I'm thinking. So I want to be one of the first 3, but I didn't have the link.
Well, I can definitely give you the link.
But now I'm not going to be one of the first 3. And I told you I'm a little girl right now.
Well, maybe I can probably make a special consideration since you were bold and courageous enough to be visible here. If you join today, I'll make sure you get the bonus.
Okay, so I need a link.
Okay. Well, and I was just saying, I know you study astrology, but I hope that, yeah, I will now if you get the bonus. I can't wait to see your astrology chart and give you a reading, because I just want to see what's coming up for you. I feel like there's something really big with these eclipses at the end of the year for you. That's going to be like a big opening. So we'll see when we meet for that session. But we are, I mean, this is for you, but also everybody. We are in such a confusing time right now. You know, and I hear you that maybe you've been waiting for longer than just 2020, but this time right now, and especially September, October, beginning of November, it is, and the months leading up to this as well, like ever since February or March, it's been very confusing. It's been very, even some of the guidance, you know, that we're getting from our guides is confusing, because it's like everything is just changing so fast. So if you're waiting or feeling like, why is it not happening yet, you know, again, like that is the energy we're in right now for sure.
Oh, really? Okay.
So, you know, don't be alarmed. Don't be worried. Yeah. We got to flow with it, and we are going to come to this time of much more clarity and understanding once we get through mid-November.
Yeah, in a way I feel like you know, I have this thought, okay, you just have to let it go, give up. And then I know it's not the right thing to do, but I feel like in a way this is some sort of guidance, because you know, it's good to surrender and just sort of let go, not of the idea, but just let go of the grip and the attachment to the outcome and all of that. Definitely. So I think that for that to happen, I need to be led. I need to be led and forget about what I know and you know, how perfect everything seems to be in my life. You know, nothing is really, well, everything is perfect, but I can't point the finger, you know, at something and say, oh, I have a problem with that, I need support, you know. It's not the case. That's what I'm trying to say, that very vague
feeling of like something is missing.
yeah, something is going to change, and I'm waiting.
Yeah.
And I'm praying that it would be a gentle change. And yeah, so we will talk more.
Okay, wonderful. If you could, in the chat, once you're not on live anymore, if you could put in just to all panelists, and send me your email address, I'll make sure that you get the bonus that way.
Okay.
And I'll put the link in the chat again now, so you can go and register whenever you are ready. And I look forward to our bonus session.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, there's something, you made me think of something when you were like, you know, saying, I know there's something missing, something more. When I was a kid, I wonder if anybody else has had this experience. I don't know if I've ever shared this with anyone, actually. When I was a kid, I used to have this feeling of being hungry, but I wasn't hungry for food. Like, I may have just eaten, but I was hungry, and I was like, I was like 7, 8, 9 years old. I don't know what I'm hungry for, but there's something else that I'm missing that I need to have, right?
Yeah, it's a
So
void. It's a feeling of a void, of emptiness, of yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
So we are definitely in the void now, but we can navigate this. We can do this, and trust and surrender. And like you said, letting go of the attachment to how it needs to look, because we're also getting a lot of training now, right? And we have been in the past few years, a lot of training modalities, or intuition enhancements, or healing enhancements, or just inner, you know, experiences and inner knowing. And, you know, we think we know how it's all going to turn out, or we think we know what we're supposed to do with it, but the universe can come in, especially now in these coming months, and be like, whoop, we're going to just rearrange all of that, and it can turn out more amazing than we ever imagined, right? So we have to definitely be in deep surrender to allow that kind of thing to happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a big invitation for us now. All right, well, thank you, Hadass, for sharing. It's wonderful to talk with you.
Thank you. Okay.
Many blessings.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, well, let me take one more share here. So Emerd, let me bring you over. And while you're on your way over, let me put this link in the chat once again for Hadass and anyone else who wants it. So here's the link to join the program, Shamanic Awakening. Okay, so I just put that in the chat once again. Okay. Oh, I can't hear you yet, Emerd. Let me see.
Oh, hi.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Forgot to change my background. I'm awesome. Thank you for this opportunity once again. It was a pretty cool journey, and
Yay.
gosh, there's like so much I want to share. I resonate with Hadass a little bit, you know, because yeah, I guess I'll touch on that one in my journey. So I started off in like the beach, you know, with palm trees and sand. My guide's an angel, and it was really cool because when I went through the portal, like I know it's like I'm in this, with the stars and all, but at the same time there's still like water. I was like gliding over water. It was like an infinity pool in space.
Cool.
It was pretty awesome. But what I love about it, I love the weakness and strength thing, because you know what's come up for me. You know, I'm an introvert. You know, I'm shy. Yeah, but I love people. I love being with people, and you wouldn't think I'm shy if I'm like, you know, with you.
Yeah.
Or if I'm an introvert. You know, so I love that. And I'm also very analytical. I'm a healer now. You know, I had a huge awakening like about 10 years ago, and I resisted healing first because before I was a healer, I used to do IT. Like I can literally build a computer from, you know, myself. I'm like a very analytical left brain. Okay, I'm very left brain, and it took some time for me to embrace my intuitive side, and I started doing that. But especially this past couple of years, I've learned to embrace it, you know. And those are the things that's come up for me. Like I'm analytical, and I'm also intuitive and spiritual. So I'm like I've learned to embrace both and kind of marry both my brain and my heart, you know, so to speak. Um, gosh, yeah. So those are like the different things that came up in that journey, and it is all perfect, like you said. It's like it's what makes me unique, you know, and there's something I can bring to the world. Yeah, maybe help people like me, myself, like who's very analytical left brain, and kind of like get in touch with more their you know, that other side.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And what Hadass was sharing too, right? Like I'm always questioning my results, and you know, am I doing this right? That's like one of the things that comes up for me. Am I doing this right? Am I doing this right?
With the analytical, yes.
Yeah, being my analytical thing. And what I could share with Hadass, you know, what's come up for me yet, trust the process, trust the process. And another thing too that's come up for me is like just, you know, what I think is the perfect scenario, the ideal result may not be you know, the best result. I'm discovering like really what I even think is possible. It's not the only thing that's possible. There's definitely other possibilities out there that I can't even think of. And so, yeah, and you know, I could share certain things too with my healing practice. Like I had this ideal scenario for this one client, and what came out of it was even beyond what I imagined. It was even better. So I'm just yeah, I wanted to share that. And again, thank you, Jocelyn, for this opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely.
And everybody too.
Thank you for sharing. And yeah, I think this combination of, you know, analytical, you know, very left-brained combined with the intuitive healing, right brain abilities. I mean, I think that's incredibly valuable because you're going to be able to help this mainstream modern world in a way that many people can't, you know, because you can really see both sides very clearly. And it's been definitely part of my journey too. I was in finance and corporate for 15 years, and then all of a sudden had this huge awakening and started, you know, diving into shamanic and indigenous work. You know, it's like really two completely separate worlds, but then you get to bring them together in a unique way nobody else can do. And that's magic.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well,
Yes,
thank
yes.
you. Yeah, thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Jocelyn.
Blessings. Have a beautiful day.
You too.
Okay. Wow. Thank you everyone so much for being fully present here, for sharing from your heart and soul. I can't wait to go back and read the chat. I wasn't able to see too much of it during the call, but there is so much here. It looks really incredibly beautiful. And yeah, I'm seeing comments about the Zoom link. I hope, well, at this point we'll get the recording out to everybody, but I hope most people were, or hope everybody was able to join that wanted to. So again, if you would like to join the Your Shamanic Awakening to the Stars and Back, I'll put the chat, the link in the chat here one more time. The first 3 people to join today will get that extra bonus of the Awakening Your Astral Knowledge session, and I can't wait to see who I get to share that with. And then we'll be on this incredible 4-month journey together, all of you who joined. So if it's calling out to you in your heart and soul, say yes. It's going to be really powerful. You all know I give my all in these classes, and this is going to be such a deep dive, so powerful, and it'll be a smaller group so we can really spend a lot of time together. I can give you a lot of individual attention, each of you who are in the class. So I can't wait. And I wish you all many blessings, and I will talk to you again soon. Lots of love, everybody.